Sexy.
Yeah, there you go. You could probably say
Yeah,
that.
I can say that. He's sexy.
Wayne, could you come up here and stop being so extra? This is everybody you see on the stage, this is a real family. This wasn't put together by no record label trying to, you know what I'm saying? This was handpicked by this man right here. Give this man his credit. I am honored to be in your presence, and I thank you every day for what you put together.
She didn't end up with a rapper, she didn't end up with a label executive, or a tour partner, or an industry cosign. After a decade with the man who was there before the fame, after a public romance with one of rap's biggest names, after peaceful endings and internet troll moments and rumors the internet refused to let go of, she ended up with someone she knew as a teenager in Queens. Before the wigs, before the alter egos, before the world knew her name. That ending says everything about how her love life actually worked, but to understand it, you have to start at the beginning, because nobody watched Nicki Minaj's rise more closely than the man who was there for all of it. Safari Samuels met Nicki in the early 2000s through the Hood Stars, a New York rap group they both moved with. What started as young love turned into 10 years together. Not a fling, not industry dating, a decade. And during that decade, Safari wasn't just her boyfriend. He was around the writing sessions, in the studio, present during the early mixtape era that built her reputation as a lyrical force before anyone was paying attention. They kept it quiet. Industry logic said female rappers lost male fans if they seemed taken, so they played it low. And it worked, publicly at least. Behind the scenes, the dynamic was shifting. When Young Money came and Pink Friday dropped and Nicki became a global brand around 2010, the power balance changed in a way that's hard to undo. One person became the main character in a story millions were watching. The other stayed in the background. By 2014, it had unraveled publicly. Deleted tweets, accusations flying. Nicki implied he stole from her. Safari said he felt erased from her story. Then came the allegations that made headlines. He claimed he was once injured during an argument. She denied wrongdoing. In 2015, he filed a lawsuit seeking songwriting credit. It quietly faded by 2017. But the damage wasn't the lawsuit. The damage was the question it left behind. When you grow with someone before the fame, when your careers and identities are tangled together from the beginning, a breakup doesn't just end a relationship. It becomes a debate about who built who. That's the real wound. Not the court filing, but the fact that love and legacy became impossible to separate. Safari didn't just lose a girlfriend, he lost proximity to the throne he helped build. And Nicki's next move was the opposite of quiet. When she stepped out with Meek Mill in early 2015, it was Instagram official within weeks. Red carpets, joint performances, matching energy. After a decade of keeping love private, this was loud by design. Meek wasn't in the background. He was front and center. She stood by him at probation hearings. She posted him constantly. A massive heart-shaped diamond sparked engagement rumors everywhere. For a window of time, they looked like hip-hop royalty. Then, Meek's feud with Drake erupted. Drake was her longtime collaborator and one of her closest industry relationships. Meek was her partner. Nicki got placed in the middle of something she didn't start, forced to navigate loyalty in public, while both men were making the situation impossible to ignore. Then came Meek's house arrest in 2016. Distance, pressure, fewer posts, fewer appearances. By January 2017, she confirmed it herself. She was single. She later admitted she carried real anger over how things went publicly after the split. She felt exposed. But then something surprising happened. She forgave him. Publicly. She said he apologized sincerely and admitted it was his first time truly being in love. That detail changed the tone of the whole thing. Because unlike Safari, this didn't end in lawsuits. It ended in emotions. And the fact that she forgave him, openly on the record, said something about where she was mentally by that point. Loving loudly means breaking loudly. She knew that. She accepted it. What came next felt like a deliberate exhale. When Nicki was linked to Nas in 2017, the energy shifted completely. This wasn't flashy, it wasn't performance, it felt grown. Two Queens legends. Same borough, same hunger, same history. They were spotted at Sweet Chick in New York. Matching chains appeared. Birthday appearances followed. She confirmed the vibe on the Ellen DeGeneres show, smiled when she talked about him, called him the King of Queens, said she'd like to think she was the queen. She even admitted they'd had sleepovers and joked she might make an exception to her celibacy for him. That mix of honesty and humor made fans more invested than any official statement would have. When it ended in early 2018, there was nothing. No diss records, no messy interviews, no public dragging. Nicki later used Nas as an example of how men should act after a breakup. He never spoke negatively about her, never disrespected her name. She said he carried himself like a king. Sometimes the relationship that ends peacefully teaches you more than everything else combined. Throughout all of this, one connection kept generating speculation that she had to address directly, her dynamic with Lil Wayne. Wayne signed her to Young Money in 2009 after discovering her through a freestyle DVD. He saw star power others missed and moved fast. Nicki has described being around him as electric. His creativity pushed hers, his energy matched hers. She admired him openly and has never hidden that. Songs like High School blurred lines visually. The music video had intimate scenes under sheets, close shots, bedroom lighting. Enough for fans to keep asking questions. She answered them directly. She revealed they actually avoided kissing during the shoot, said he was respectful, careful, professional. Wouldn't even touch her without permission. She framed him as protective, like an older brother. The boundary was never crossed, she said. And she reinforced it in lyrics too. This never fully died because the dynamic was genuinely powerful. He was her boss, her mentor, the man who launched her platform. But admiration and romance aren't the same thing. What they built was loyalty, not a love story. And that loyalty produced one of the most successful mentor-artist runs in modern hip-hop history. Then, in 2018, she created an internet moment entirely on purpose. She jumped on YG's Big Bank, dropped a bar casually referencing Slim Shady, posted a clip, a fan commented asking if she was dating Eminem, and she replied with one word: yes. The internet collapsed. Within hours, blogs were running headlines, Twitter was treating it like breaking news, and then Eminem played along publicly. Girl, you know it's true. At one of his concerts, he asked the crowd if they wanted him to date Nicki. They cheered, and he said he did too and told her to text him later. It felt real enough to believe. Neither confirmed anything seriously. They just kept leaning into it, teasing a wedding, hinting at studio dates, watching the world spiral. Then Eminem appeared on her album Queen on the track Majesty. The buzz translated directly into streams. What looked like romance was strategy, and it worked perfectly. Because Nicki understood something most artists don't: you can control a narrative without ever confirming it. Let the public talk while you stay amused. The attention was real, the relationship wasn't, and she came out with a charted collaboration. Around the same period, she and Future had obvious chemistry on records. You Da Baddest felt effortless and flirtatious. A joint tour was announced. Fans immediately started reading into it. Some Chanel bag posts with similar captions at similar times sent blogs into detective mode. Then Future dropped off the tour, scheduling conflicts were cited officially, and neither of them addressed the speculation directly. Whatever was there, genuine attraction, marketing momentum, or nothing at all, it ended before it ever became a real story. Sometimes the most interesting chapters are the ones that never fully open. Then came the relationship that changed everything. In late 2018, Nicki went Instagram official with Kenneth Petty, and unlike every other name connected to her, he wasn't famous, wasn't industry, wasn't a cosign or a collaboration waiting to happen. He was someone she knew as a teenager in Queens, before any of this existed. The backlash was immediate. Kenneth had a criminal record, including a conviction that required him to register as a sex offender. Critics went hard. Fans questioned her judgment. Headlines ran for weeks. She didn't back down. She defended him publicly and made it clear she was choosing her own happiness over public approval. In October 2019, they got married. Quietly. No massive celebrity spectacle. In 2020, she announced her pregnancy. Her son was born later that year. Something shifted after that. The interviews got softer. The energy changed. She rarely posts her child's face. She speaks about him with a calm that hadn't really been there before. For someone whose love life had always been public, loud, analyzed, and debated, this chapter felt genuinely private. Not because she was hiding, but because she had finally found something she didn't need to perform. When you look at the full arc, every relationship reflected exactly where she was in her life at that moment. Building with burning loud with Meek, exhaling with Nas, trolling with Eminem, finally choosing roots over reputation with Kenneth. Fame didn't simplify any of it. It magnified everything, made the love bigger, the heartbreak louder, the rumors faster. But through all of it, one thing stayed constant. She was always the main character, and she always moved on her own terms.